Hello and welcome to the show. This is not today's proper episode because I'm still out and about and I forgot my question sheet at home. So I can't remember what the topic was supposed to handle today is. So when I get back home, I'm at my desk, I'll pull up the list of questions and then I'll move on to what the next episode is supposed to be. But like I said, I'm out and about, so expect to hear some noise in the background. Someone hit me out on WhatsApp, and the person was asking about the 5K coaching program that I mentioned that I was going to revamp. It used to be 13,000 naira, but I didn't like the response I got from that. And so I've taken a look at everything, discussed with I've discussed with my stakeholders, the people in my ecosystem that help me out with business decisions, putting together business products, stuff like that. Because, yes, my specialty is in handling sales problems, but that doesn't mean that I have all the knowledge in the world when it comes to putting together a course, when it comes to handling merchandising, when it comes to doing advertising or marketing or those sorts of things. So, of course, there are people that I rely on and I speak to for these sorts of things. And so we've agreed and we've repackaged, we've put it together now for 5,000 naira monthly for individual access to me, where people get to ask me questions every day and I respond. You ask me questions on WhatsApp, you ask me questions on text, and then I show up for a dedicated 2 hours every day. And then I get to not only answer the questions but give assignments so that we can all move our businesses forward. Because getting information is one thing about what the problem is, trying to figure out what the next thing to do is also another thing. But then actually taking action on the next step is actually what moves the needle in our businesses. And that's the whole point of this 5K coaching program that I have come up with. I'm not just going to be telling you guys this is what it is that needs to be done, but I'm also going to do my best to follow up on a daily or on a weekly basis to make sure that you guys are actually taking that next step. And that's the chief benefit of this program. It's done in an easy and an affordable and a controllable way from my own point of view, because I'm not going to be spending the whole day fielding phone calls. I just open up WhatsApp, have a look at the questions, list them out, create voice notes, create videos, and then send them off to you guys so that you have all the information that you need. Every other person who is a member of the community will get to share the benefit of seeing how all these problems are worked out in real time, and we get to learn and to grow as well. So even if you're a member of the 5K coaching club, but you haven't sent in any questions, you are going to benefit from this as well, because you're going to watch other people learning, developing, growing, challenging themselves. So that's the benefit of the whole program. Anyway, so somebody hits me up this morning, and the dude says he wants to negotiate. And well, I checked the message because I wasn't sure exactly what he wanted to negotiate on, because I have several other offerings. For those of you who are already following me on WhatsApp, if you have a look at the what's it called, the business profile, yeah, because I have WhatsApp business. So if you check my profile in WhatsApp business, you'll see that I have a content creation masterclass. That's 146K. That's for those of you who want to come up. You need someone to sit down with to come up with your content strategy for your business, the kind of content you need to produce, come up with a content calendar, how you're going to work your sales funnel into that. So that's 146 grand for the whole month. I've got that. I've also got weekly consultations. That's for people who want to call in so that we can have a chat, an hour or so, call in 2, 3 times a week so that we can discuss problems in depth. So this is a much more, much more detailed time that I can spend with individuals. I mean, beyond what I offer to people in the 5K coaching program in the WhatsApp group. So there's that as well. So since the other services, I figured he might want to negotiate one of those other services that I offer. So I checked the message, and it turns out that the dude wants to negotiate the 5K coaching program. And well, first of all, I found that hilarious that he wants to negotiate something that is a 5,000 naira. And I stress again, naira. For those of you who are in America, you're probably, when I say 5K, you're probably thinking $5,000. It's not the same. If you run your currency calculator or you check Google, you will see what the value in dollars is for 5,000 naira, and you'll be able to appreciate that it's actually quite a paltry sum. So this is as low as it can get in Nigeria, 5,000 naira. So I was surprised that he wanted to negotiate it. So I sent him a message saying, "Hey, dude, I've helped you the best that I can, because whenever people hit me up, I don't just say, hey, pay the 5K and get into the group. I actually do try and answer questions, 2 or 3 questions, because that's me. I like to deliver value. So I try and answer a couple of questions the best I can, send you to some helpful resources, because it's not everybody that can help. There are some people who come and hit me up, and from the nature of their questions, it becomes clear that what they need is someone to help them out with Google advertising or excuse me, or Facebook advertising. Now that is not my forte at all. That's not my area of specialty. I just have general ideas about how you can improve your targeting, the people that you're sending the advertising towards. When it comes to setting up the campaign, how much you should budget for the campaign, the specific keywords that you use when you're trying to determine what the audience is, the geography that you should set for the campaign, things like that. When it comes to those sorts of things, I'm absolutely of no help. So if it becomes clear that that's the kind of help that you need, I will pass you along to someone else who is much more suitably qualified to handle those sorts of things. So that's the reason why people hit me up on WhatsApp. I entertain them for a couple of questions, 2 or 3, before I get the lay of the land, know what it is that they're heading, trying to achieve, then I know where to direct you accordingly. So the dude says that he wants to negotiate the 5K because he doesn't have the 5K. Now, normally, I would not engage with these sorts of comments, but this guy is my guy. He's young, he's promising, he's real estate space. I've taken a liking to the chap, so with him, I can speak freely, and he's not going to be offended. Well, and if he's offended, that's up to him. So this is what I told the fellow. Now look, you can't tell me that you don't have 5,000 naira. How much is your phone? I mean, I'm using an Android phone, but most of the young bloods nowadays, they don't use simple phones like I do. I mean, they might say, "Oh yeah, I'm a family man. That's why I'm cutting corners and stuff like that. That's why I'm using a Nokia and not a high-end Samsung." But the thing is, young bloods nowadays don't walk around with Nokia phones. So all these boys are walking around with souped-up phones. So how much did you pay for your phone? You're telling me you don't have 5K. How much did you spend on credit last month? Because apart from business hustle, you also call up 1 or 2 girls. You're trying to get a piece of action. I understand, because that's just life. It's not as if it's something I approve of, but I understand that you're trying to get your flow on. So you call 1 or 2 babes. So you can set aside credit to call babes, but you say you don't have 5K for business development. You say you don't have 5K for personal development. You don't have 5K for a useful resource to tell you on where next to go or what next to do to help your real estate hustle. Okay, no problem. You say you don't have 5K. How much does it take to move around Ubers in Lagos? Because you're trying to hustle up business, and once in a while you hook up with your boys to chill, and you say you don't have 5K. How much did you spend in Uber? How much do you spend in bus? When you hook up with the boys, how much do you spend on drinks and shawarma and stuff like that? And you say you don't have 5K. So I asked the boy all these questions, and then I just gave it to him straight. Let's be real. For those of us Nigerians who are listening to the show right now, you can't say you don't have 5,000 naira. You can't say you don't have 5K. The best you can say is that the resources that I'm putting out here on the podcast, the services that I provide, the best you can say is that the value of everything that I do is not worth 5K. If you say, Tabishima, I see you, I feel you, but I don't think all this is worth 5K, no problem. Then we can have a conversation. You're being direct. You're being direct. You're being a man. Yeah, we're having a straight-laced conversation, and we'll have a conversation about value if that's the case. And that is how most of us actually do live our lives. My children tell me they want certain kinds of toys. I look at it, I see the price, like, oh, it's 5 grand or it's 10 grand, and I say, look, this is a cheap piece of plastic. I'm not going to spend 5K on this. I'm not going to spend 10 grand on that. And then they say, Dad, aren't you going to buy the toy? I say, no, I'm not going to buy it because this is crap, and I'm not going to waste 5,000 naira on it. And those are the conversations that we have every day. Everybody has 5,000 naira, But not everything is worth spending 5,000 naira on. So, if you're listening to the material that I put out here, you think you're getting value, then, by all means, subscribe to the podcast. That's the reason why these free episodes are there. You don't have to spend money with me, or with anybody else for that matter. You don't have to spend money with me. We have over 650 episodes here. I'm still going to put out these episodes coming for a very long time. So there will always be free resources from me. So you don't have to spend money with me. But if you do hit me up because you're interested in the 5K coaching program, like this young man did, don't hit me up to say that you want to negotiate because you don't have 5,000 naira. Everybody has 5,000 naira. We only spend money on things that we think are worth it. The best you can say is that service is not worth 5,000 naira. And if you say, look, Tabishima, this thing is not worth 5,000 naira, hey, no problem. We'll have the conversation. I won't be insulted because I'm self-employed. I've been in business for a while. So having pricing conversations and stuff like that is what I do for a living. It's not a problem. But don't tell me that you don't have 5,000 naira. You do. You just don't think my services are worth it. And if you don't think my services are worth it, it's fine. You can move along. It's not a problem. In fact, if you don't think my services are worth 5,000 naira, it's not your problem. It actually is my own problem, and it's a problem for me to figure out in my own business about how to level up and to increase the value that I'm offering to my listeners and people who come into my ecosystem. So that's just what this detour episode is about. To let you guys know, the 5K club, the 5K coaching club, is there. The coaching, the training is going to be delivered on WhatsApp. You guys sent me text messages. I'm going to be in the inbox every day between 9 and 11 responding to these messages. My responses are going to be in audio format so that way I can get to everybody else quickly. If I'm going to type out answers, it's going to take me a bunch of time. So I'm going to be responding in audio, I'm going to be responding in video, and I'm going to be giving assignments. If you say that you work for, let's say, Crusader Pensions, they're one of the pension providers in Nigeria, and you've been trying to get into this office, these are the people you've met, you've not been able to book meetings, what's the next step? Then I'm going to, obviously, we're dealing with prospecting problems there. I'm going to ask a couple of questions so I can understand, the backdrop. What kind of insurance products are you trying to sell for Crusader Sterling? Who are the people that you approach? How did you approach them? And then I'm going to create a response, audio or video, saying, this is the deal about prospecting. This is what you're trying. This is what you should have tried. This is what I would recommend. So now, with this list of 5 people that you've told me next week, go back and approach this person and try and have this conversation. When you're done, get back to me in the group. Let me know how did that go. And so that's how the whole thing is going to go. And we'll take it like that, step by step. I'm going to be doing this for you and other people who are members of the group. And like I said, if you join the group, you're not brave enough to ask a question, you don't think you have a question, you're still going to learn once you see how it is that I'm going to try and solve the problem that this person has who works for Crusader Sterling Pensions in Nigeria. You're going to learn by osmosis, being around all these people who are sharing the problems, coming up with solutions, and also other members of the group chipping in about how they intend to, how they would have tackled these things if it were them. So, I announced it 2 days ago, I think, on the podcast, that we're now good to go on the 5K coaching program. It's called the Sales Clinic. That's because the first time I did this at the Tech Hub in Abuja, that's what the session was called, the Sales Clinic. I was the doctor in residence, in quote, and people who came in with sales challenges, health challenges for their business, if you can put it that way, they came in, had a consultation with me, and we tried to map the way forward for them. That's me and my co-chair at the time. So it's also known as the Sales Clinic. But if you hit me up asking for the 5K coaching club, that's not a problem. You just hit me up in the DMs saying you're interested, and we'll take it from there. But remember, don't say you don't have 5,000 naira. Just say that the services that I provide you don't think is worth the 5,000 naira. And then you can go and spend your money where you think is more important. So if you're a young blood like this chap and you think the money is better spent in babes, no problem. Phones, no problem. Kicks and clothes, no problem. Hanging out with the boys, no problem. It's your prerogative. How you choose to spend your 5,000 naira is your prerogative. But don't say that you don't have 5,000 naira. So, thank you very much for listening to the show for today. Well, okay, this is not the show because when I get back home, I'll pull up the sheet. Then I will head straight into the question for today. I should be home in about 3 or 4 hours. So, I'll get to that. So remember, you guys who look me up on LinkedIn, please connect. It's a pleasure chatting with you guys and meeting you guys. I'm spending most of my time on LinkedIn these days. You don't know the spelling of my name, you just check the player profile when you're done in whichever website or podcast playing app that you're listening to. My photo is there, my email address is there, and the correct spelling of my name is there. Let's see what else. What else? Yeah, I think that's it pretty much. So that's all for now. You guys will be hearing from me again in another 2 or 3 hours by the time I get back home, and then we'll have the proper episode for the day where I'm trying to deliver you guys business value in your earbuds. I almost said ear holes, but I don't think that is. I think that sounds crass. So, we'll be delivering value in your earbuds. So, thanks again for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys in a few hours.